Good morning, guys. This is John here. I'm going to attach my block to the back of my quilt, like I said I was going to do. And oops, there's some strings and stuff. What I basically did is I ironed over a 1/4-inch seam all the way around my block. That way I can applique it on with a blanket stitch or a different stitch. But I want to attach it before I tie my quilt together. And I want it to line up with this block here. So the best way to line that up with that block there is by taking a pin and sticking it through on all 4 corners. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Put my hand underneath here and get to this one, and that will be 4. So now I have pins sticking up where I want to have this placed. And the reason I'm doing it this way is when I tie my front, just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I have down the tie down marks. Now when I tie my front, I'm actually going to be tying here, 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 and here. So if I line this one up with a front block, I will actually be tying it in the exact same spots. That way I don't have tie. If I had it down in the corner, I might have a tie up here and one in the middle. So by doing it this way, I know exactly where I want it, and I can applique it down with a blanket stitch and have it all set, and then once I go to tie this, it's already in the perfect location as far as where I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to pin it in the location that it's at. That way I can pick up this back piece and it's not going to be perfect, but it will be closer than it would have been if I just put it anywhere on the back. And that takes care of that. I pull out these 2 pins here. This one here. And what I'll do is I'll take my hand, and you want to put your hand under because you don't want to pin your batten, because right now all we're dealing with is this one block that's going on the back. And I'll pin it right here. And I'll flatten it out when I actually get to the machine to attach it. But that's approximately where it's going to be. When I pick this up, all that will be coming with me to my sewing room is my back panel. I'll leave the batten and the front panel right on my carpet out here. I'll attach that with my blanket stitch in the ditch stitch, so it will be on there nice and secure. Then I'll come back and I'll relay this back down on the carpet so I can start tying it. But I'll lay it down like it is right now with the back, but once it's all laid down, I'm going to flip it over so I can actually see where to tie it from the front. And how I work on tying is I go from one direction to the other. That way your fabric, you can smooth it out as you go. Smooth it out that way, so it stays nice and flat, and you just keep on tying it. You go to one edge to the other edge to get in the middle, and when I tie, I always put my hand underneath, and I tie with my hand underneath all 3 layers, so I make sure that I don't sew it onto the carpet. Other than that, it's fairly simple. Once I have it tied, I will show you how to pin down the binding. And as you notice, I'm almost a ½ inch over on this side. On all 4 sides, I'm almost about an inch over on all 4 sides. And that's perfectly fine being an inch over, because once I have this where it's pinned down with the binding and I have it sewed on one edge, then I can trim away what I need to on this, so that the binding is only covering up part of this and sewing onto a 1/4 inch of this, and you'll be able to see what I mean once I videotape what I'm doing and showing you how I'm doing it. It's hard to explain in words, but once you see me doing it, you're going to say, oh, okay, that's how he does that. And it will actually be quite easy for you to get a grasp of it and do it on your own. I will be back. Hi guys, it's me. I have my quilt here, which I'm going to sew it onto the back, the block onto the back side. I'm just going to use a quilting stitch. Let's see if I can find my other guide. I have, well anyways, on ours it is number 14, I believe, is what I used. Number 14 or number 30? Either way, I believe it's number 30. I used this smaller stitches. So what I'll do is I'll go up to 30, and then I will bring this in here. And it's already pinned on, so it's not going anywhere. I only pinned on the 4 corners, but that's all I really needed to pin on was the 4 corners. And from there, and that's not the stitch I want, or it's actually too wide of a stitch. Let's try that. That's the stitch I want right there. Just a small little blanket stitch, not too big, not too small. Sometimes when you have this much material, it's hard to work with, and I just kind of throw it up onto the table so it's not pulling. And I'm going to press on that button so my needle will actually stop in a down position. That way when I get to the corner I can turn it with the needle down. Okay, I'm at the corner. I'm going to turn it. What I'll do is I'll lift up my foot, get it all nice and straight. Start sewing it down on this side. And you're gonna have to bunch up. A lot of people, what they would do is they would pin this down completely flat all the way around. I did not do that. Basically because I'm lazy. Give you the God's honest truth. Okay, now I'm going to twist it again. So I'm even going to have more fabric up into my machine. Oops. Okay. Pull this head out just a hair. Drop that. And I want this taut because I want the fabric underneath. I don't care if this is a little puffy, but I want it to make sure that the fabric underneath it is nice and taut. I'm going to move that pin, and I'm going to keep on going the way I've been going.